And then that brings us directly, when we reach this point, now we get really to the crux of this case, which is the balance of whether UW correctly concluded in its faculty committee vote that the interest in promoting the efficiency of its public services outweighed Dr. Gow's interest in exercising his First Amendment rights. And we respectfully submit here that the UWL struck the wrong balance. It's not enough to speculate. It's not enough to rely on rumors or maybes. It's showing either actual disruption or a fact-based belief that there is going to be future disruption. And what facts do we have here about disruption? We don't have much. I want the regents, if I may indulge here, to take formal notice of UWL's announcement this week that it's about to welcome its largest ever entering class. Surely if the publicity attendant to Dr. Gow's activities were impairing UWL's good name, that wouldn't be happening. You might take the position, as UWL did in its briefs, that that maybe there hasn't been irreparable harm yet, but sure, if we let him back in the classroom, that's going to happen. That's just speculation. That's guessing. It's not even well-formulated speculation. One thing that I noted as I reviewed the record that was assembled before the committee at UW La Crosse is that it was simply the testimony of the former interim chancellor Morgan about what people were telling her, the concerns that were being raised to her by faculty, by alumni, students, etc. And I understand they didn't bring in anyone like that to testify. But they certainly could have obtained written statements. They could have gotten affidavits. They could have gotten something to say, look, we have a groundswell here. We have numerous people who have approached us. And this is just a snapshot of that. We didn't get that. We got the unsupported speculation of one administrator's forward-looking, not looking at, because certainly the reaching the high point historically of enrollment is completely inconsistent with any kind of adverse effect that was supposedly created by Professor Gow. We don't have anything to back up what the administration predicted would be happening. No statements by anyone. They didn't come in to testify. They didn't bring anything in writing. No parents, no students, no donors, no legislators, no alumni. All those people, whatever they had to say, came in through second, third, fourth-hand information. And even if they had, you can't automatically credit it. You have to test it. And there isn't anything here that suggests that there has been any sort of anything resembling short-term, medium-term, or long-term harm to the university. What it is, instead, is factors that really cannot be considered when we look at the law, and we can't consider things like, well, we're embarrassed. We disagree profoundly with the things he's saying. He's making us individually look bad, look silly. Those aren't things that count under a balancing analysis. They just don't. No doubt there are members of the public who are offended by Dr. Gow's videos. They may have included legislators, parents, alumni of UWL. But even that can't go far enough to show that he should be fired, that the balance weighs in UWL's favor. There are members of the public who are offended by faculty speech on any number of issues. It might be pornography. It might be the state of war and hostilities in Israel. It might be on the presidential election. There can be all sorts of things that are offending people that faculty members say well within their First Amendment rights. And it is not the job of UWL or of this Board of Regents to police those things, especially in the absence of significant and definitive evidence of harms that are going to take place in the future. We rightly recognize that free speech and expression can't survive, let alone thrive, if speakers are required to worry about whether they will offend people in power. There is seriously nothing placed in the balance by UW here that rises above the level of speculation, and they pretty much admit that on page 14 of their brief, where they phrase it conditionally. If Professor Gow continues to teach, it could adversely affect funding, enrollment, et cetera. Again, that's just based on the interim chancellor's summary of things that she says people told her. I do not believe that that this panel should afford that testimony a whole lot of weight.